man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy, 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
Tonight, I think that the Oilers will come out and beat Toronto because they have to.
How about that?
Johnny Toronto over here, because you're going to tell me that the Leafs are going to win, of course.
I just think Toronto's got more depth throughout the lineup than Edmonton does. And when Austin Matthews isn't playing well, you've got still a really good hockey team that steps up. If McDavid and Draisaitl aren't going for the Oilers, then they're just not going to be as productive and they're not going to win.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Certainly is. Good day, Canada. Welcome to the RP Show. I'm just sharing, don't mind me, on my Facebook feed here. Rod here, Darren Moose DuPont there. It's Canada's daytime sports talk show, and we welcome in our American friends and those all around the world of Canadian sports. Are you ready to roll?
Always.
Okay.
Always.
Big day today. One guest per hour. Peter Lobardius with us in hour one. He of the Calgary Flames radio crew. Whoa, what happened
I saw
there?
it too. I loved it. That was cool.
Kind of neat. Can we get one of those? Peter Lobardius from the Calgary Flames radio crew coming up in hour one. And in hour two, Brad Kraft of the Saskatchewan Rattlers. He is the CEO of this province's CEBL basketball team, Canadian Elite Basketball League. You all have a team for the most part across this land. Let's think about it. You got your Hamilton Honey Badgers, you have your Edmonton Stingers, you have your Niagara River Lions, Ottawa Blackjacks. Montreal's getting a team for sure.
Yep.
Winnipeg wants a team. Fraser Valley Bandits. So we're going to have the CEO of the Rattlers on, and then hopefully as we move into the spring, we'll have every team represented here on the program. But those are the guests today. Peter Lobardius, Lou, and Brad Kraft. Let's get to the quick six show topic. Horn, please. Director Jordan. Thank you. I see all the comments are coming in from those across the land, and we will certainly get to them. I have to say that I didn't watch a lot of hockey last night, Darren, and here's why. I was doing podcasts. Have you noticed?
Yeah, you've
all
been busy.
Across the land, I was guesting on podcasts. New York City. I think I was in New Westminster last night, Lethbridge, and I did a lot of recovery work last night. Recovery work with people. And when you are dealing with people's lives, it's not stressful necessarily, but it's draining. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
I can imagine.
You're dealing with people's lives right here. It's draining. Not in a bad way, but by 9:15, I'm like, oh, the Golden Knights are dropping the puck. Canada's team, the Golden Knights of Vegas, are dropping the puck against Minnie. I'm out.
I know. I was almost in that spot because I was here late, and so I didn't get home till almost 7, and I'm like, I missed the first hour of the Leafs and Oilers.
Right.
Then I look and realize it's at 9, and I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, I'm going to have to stay up.
What do you people in the East do? You people in the East, how do you watch the Leafs at 10 o'clock at night?
I know.
I don't know how you do it.
Till 12:30 or 1 o'clock.
So anyways, I'm going to get to the leftovers, but our poll question today, given Monday night's NHL results, who's the worst team in the Scotia North Division right now? Who's the worst team in the Scotia North Division? Your options are Calgary, Montreal, Ottawa, or Vancouver. What are they saying on Facebook? It's a tie?
37% are saying Ottawa, and Calgary at 37%. Yeah, it's a tie.
Ottawa on Twitter leads by a nose over the Calgary Flames, and Ottawa clubbed the Flames last night 5-1 in the nation's capital. And I'll be honest, this Flames swoon, they won 2 games on this 6-game roadie. It's like McDonald's to me. I'm loving it. I don't like the Calgary Flames. They know why. They don't like me. And to see the swoon that they're in, I'm loving it. So I didn't put them in my leftovers at all. Here are my 5 leftovers from Monday night, brought to you by Tupperware. The Oilers are not in the Leafs class, FYI, says Captain Obvious. Do you want to give some thoughts? What was it? 4-0 was the 3-0?
Yeah.
Oh, they did all their scoring in the first period. Then you can go to bed.
All of it. They were very convenient and very respectful last night. Very efficient. Mike Smith came in after that opening period. Koskinen let in 2 goals in the first 2 shots of the game. The Leafs don't put a lot of pucks on net, but they do control a lot of the play. That's what I've noticed. But their defensive play has become a lot better, very quiet defensively. So there's a lot more structure to this Leafs game, and it's good to see. And as we talked about, if McDavid and Draisaitl aren't going, the Oilers really have a sharp drop-off after that. I know the depth has been scoring a lot more during their streak, and that's a big reason. But it's because McDavid and Draisaitl have been going as well. And when they stop producing, there's a big drop-off for Edmonton.
Connor looked frustrated last night. Mm-hmm. You saw him took 2 bad minutes in the offensive zone, cross-checking the guy in front of the net. That's not good for the Oilers. But my point is the Oilers are not in the Leafs class. That's very clear. I've stopped making jokes about the Leafs. I think we all have, us Leaf haters, because you're a Leaf fan. And my second leftover is that they had better win the Stanley Cup. They'd better win it because you're proving that you're the best team in the regular season, no doubt. And I saw Clark on Twitter going off about the Leafs, and I sent him a meme of Chris Jones. You saw it, right? Mm-hmm. Win with class. Win with class. And Clark says, I'm not bragging. And I don't think he was bragging. But I know, Leafs, you've never been here before. I know that. But try to act like you've been here before.
Yeah, don't spike don't spike the football unless it's the Super Bowl.
No, and that goes for the fans, too. Oh, I could go on about this all day. From the viewers, Jason and Red Deer, the Flames are being eaten like leftovers. Jeff, the Stamps fan, it's time to break out the paper bags in Calgary.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. And I have my thoughts on that, but I'm not going to spend any more time on that. Let's talk positive things.
Let's do it.
Other than, as I put in my leftovers, how could the Pagulas, the family that owns the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Sabres, have fixed the Bills and get them to host a playoff game in the NFL after 20-plus years of futility? But they can't. They've botched the Sabres? I don't understand. Because I've worked in different sports at high levels. The concepts are all the same. You know that. Treat your people well, treat your people well, treat your people well, draft well, have some integrity. Here's your 5. If you want to know why some teams are perennially losing, they've forgotten those key concepts. It doesn't matter the sport. And probably the corporation, too, right? Treat your people well. Anyways, and then Vegas, they came back in overtime, but I was like into my 3rd dream by then. I had a dream last night. I was attacked by a mouse. It just came to me. Oh, yeah, it's a long story. I have a phobia. Mine's mice.
Mine's snakes.
If you can, really? Yeah, I heard you say that. Yellowstone freaked you out in that episode.
A little bit.
Anyways, we'll continue with our quick six show topics here. Those were my Monday night NHL leftovers here on Tuesday morning. How about point 2? The Blue Jays tied the Pittsburgh Pirates 2-2. Obviously, we can't watch the game because it's Canada. And it's Sportsnet, so none of us were able to watch the game. So I'm like, a tie? And by the way, I'm not interested in sitting and refreshing Twitter to see what's going on in the game. I'm just not going to watch. I'm just going to catch the highlights in the morning on SportsCenter, which is what I did. I didn't even know they tied until this morning when I turned on SportsCenter. And I'm like, a tie? How un-American is that? You couldn't go into extra innings. What else you got to do? It's a pandemic. Play 10, 11, 12 innings. Who cares? But I see our traction, our commentary yesterday about sports not airing Blue Jays games is getting some traction. They're playing the Phillies today, and there's no broadcast of it by either team. What the hell is going on? There's got to be more to it than meets the eye.
Has to be. I mean, even in the Canadian Football League,
there's a broadcast.
When there's no preseason, the teams get together and put on a live stream. The Riders would step up and do a live stream of the game.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Or the
sometimes.
Calgary Stampeders have done that. If TSN's not picking up the preseason, I'm really shocked that the Jays aren't doing something.
Hang on with the comments, and we'll get to them, but this is our time. And then Lou comes in next segment. This is the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Come in and warm up. At the Four Seasons, you're home for the NHL and UFC. Somebody has to come out and speak on behalf of the teams. Today's sports, they don't feel they need to say anything, and they don't say anything. But you should say something. Blue Jays, how do you feel about the fact that your preseason games aren't being broadcast? Can you release a statement? And people think that, it's Rogers. They own the Blue Jays. They own Sportsnet. They'll just work it out. Well, they're not working it out. Do you understand how these companies work? Rogers is like mom and dad, and Blue Jays and Sportsnet are like the kids. And you could go to mom and dad to complain about the other, but you're not going to do that because mom and dad are just going to say, you sort it out amongst yourselves, you guys. And so then it's like, fine. And they're not sorting anything out, and now the games aren't being broadcast. That's my read on the situation. And also, can somebody speak on behalf of pro sports now? Because I don't understand the mentality. You mentioned the Riders doing a live stream, and one year they did, and it went very well. But we had the green and white game at SMF Field in Saskatoon, and Vince Young was quarterbacking for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And I got down on my knees and begged the Riders, can we live stream this on Facebook? Can we please? It's Vince Young's quarterbacking, guys. And they're like, no. Why not? Because. No. But why? I need to know why. No. Of course, they knew me well enough to know that I would just, once the game started, turn my phone on and start putting it on Facebook. So they put somebody in the booth right beside me to ensure that I didn't do it. And were you at that game with Vince Young quarterbacking? Do you remember how many people were there?
It was packed.
They jammed the stands. There were 5-6 people deep around the end zones to watch Vince Young. And the Riders, I think we were saying, if you want to come watch Vince Young, come to the park. Well, I don't think anybody's coming from Austin, Texas to watch a green and white game, so can we please show this? But they didn't want to do it. I never got an explanation why they didn't want to do it. And maybe that's like the Blue Jays now. They don't want to air it. Because why? I don't know. They're not explaining it.
I know.
That's my story on that. I don't get inside the heads of teams now. I don't get it. Point 3, the Raptors got roned again. I'm not going to spend much time on that, but they're not playing tonight again because of wasn't good. Nobody had it, right? There was a threat that somebody might have had it.
Close contact.
So right. So let's shut down the whole damn thing. Sure. Yeah. Point 4, the Dub cleared to play in BC. Big news yesterday.
Huge.
Every division in the Western Hockey League now cleared to go. They're going in Alberta. Soon they will out here in the East, in Washington, and now British Columbia. So bravo, BC and Dr. Bonnie Henry. Point 5, we didn't really get into this much yesterday because it dropped during this show, but J.J. Watt has signed with the Arizona Cardinals, and Director Jordan, if you've watched any of our social media feeds, turned it into a music video.
Yeah.
And that bad move for Watt. And We don't necessarily think it's a bad move for J.J. Watt, right? And pro players, including Eddie Steele, longtime veteran in the CFL, wrote us and said it's not a bad move. It's $23 million guaranteed. And it's like, if it's all about the money, if that's all that we're doing here, why didn't he just stay in Houston then if he didn't care about winning? Right?
Right. And that's, we just go to the extremes, right? And we just say, because it's not Green Bay, because it's not Buffalo, because it's not Kansas City, because it's not, Tampa Bay, dumb move. He's never going to win a Lombardi. Well, the Arizona Cardinals were a pretty good football team for a while last year. Like, they were a top 5 team in the NFL for a while. They've got one of the top tier quarterbacks in Kyler Murray, and he, really adds another big piece to that defense. J.J. Watt's got a lot of gas left in the tank. He's not the number 1 or 2 defensive lineman in the NFL anymore. He's not top 5, but he's there, and this makes them a better team. DeAndre Hopkins is still a top wide receiver. They've got weapons. They very much are in the mix. They're maybe not top 3 to win a Super Bowl, but they're in the mix of teams that are capable of winning Super Bowls.
So J.J. Watt to the Cardinals. I'm mixing in a few more of the comments here. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says watching Vince Young in 2017 is like watching Paul Anka in 2017. Just not worth it anymore. Well, why was it packed then? Why was there so much interest to watch Vince Young? Donald Mitchell, our Navy friend watching from Bahrain, says sometimes you just need to ask for forgiveness instead of asking for permission. Don, I'd done that for 20 years. It was getting old on both sides. I'm tired of getting 40 lashes, man. It wasn't worth it anymore. I'm like, okay, you win.
Yeah. We don't pay for quality, though, when it comes to Vince Young. We don't pay for
it wasn't about
talent. It's about entertainment.
It's about buzz.
Entertainment buzz.
They're selling buzz.
That's exactly what it's about.
But they don't really get that anymore, and they don't understand it anymore, but that's their thing. Lauren in Kamloops, British Columbia, is watching and says, no one seems to know the details of the WHL return to play in BC. They had proposed a bubble in Kamloops and Kelowna. Here's what I've learned about the Dub return to play, and for that matter, any league. We are all, and you people, are on a need-to-know basis. You don't need to know. I don't need to know. That's why I'm lumping myself in with you. The teams are meeting with the government. This is highly, highly, highly sensitive stuff. And although we're very inquisitive, curiosity killed the cat, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think we want to die. So you'll get the details as they come forward. That's all. And that's the most that I can say about that. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
And then the 6th topic in the Quick 6 show topics is Bob Irving calls out TSN.
I saw.
You saw that, eh?
Yeah.
Bob Irving, the longtime Hall of Fame voice of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He has been calling Bomber games for exactly as long as I've been alive. Look it up. And so he says, how come TSN is getting all giddy over the J.J. Watt signing, but they don't cover the CFL at all? They don't care. There's been no coverage of where Enoch Mwamba will sign. And I don't know, we've only been saying that every day for 433 days. But because Bob Irving says it, it's front page news. And I love the man like an uncle. Believe me, when I got from my last job, Bob was one of the first guys to call. So, hey, I get with Bob. But what I'm saying is he's not saying anything different than what we're saying. Why does TSN ignore this league that they pay so much money for? We were just talking about it yesterday. So I'm just bringing it to light. I don't have any commentary on what Bob said. You must. It seems like you have an opinion. Yeah.
Always. I mean, TSN's mandate, they're not a public broadcaster, right? So it's not about making sure everybody gets coverage. They want to talk about the things that people care about and want to talk about. And clearly, whatever research they've done and, what their best kind of assessment is that more people care about J.J. Watt. It's a bigger deal in this country than a signing in the Canadian Football League. It's a telling tale, but that's what they feel, if that's what they're leading with. What they lead with on SportsCenter is what they think is the most important topic of that day to their audience. That's why they lead with it, right? And then you hope that people will stay for the great news and the next piece of great news, and they'll stay throughout the whole show. If you start with your worst piece of news, you're going to lose your audience and nobody's going to stick around for the rest of the show. So they clearly think J.J. Watt is more interesting.
From the viewers, we got to speed this up. Patrolman Pete says, I love Knuckles, but you can't expect TSN to hype the CFL when the league hasn't played in nearly a year and a half. He says this is why the CFL needs to play this year, but it's seeming like they won't. And from Don Mitchell, he said TSN has been called out so many times for its lack of CFL coverage that they don't care. That is very clear, isn't it? Extremely clear. And lastly, Bob in Grand Prairie says, but Rod, you picked the Flames for first place at the beginning. Yeah, I know. I know. That's how much I believe in them. And by the way, nobody's saying they don't have talent. But I'm very happy to be wrong on this. I said I picked Calgary to be number one, and I hate them. That's how much I believed in them. And now look at this fiasco. Well, Lou joins us next, and we're not going to put him on the grill, that's for sure, but we'll get his take on things. Peter Lobardias is coming up. This has been the warm-up. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV across all 10 provinces and 31 states, live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and live 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait. Do it right now. Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It certainly is. And everybody, I want to tell you that the Prairie Mobile text line is open, by the way. It is currently full of messages, but we'll get to them, plus yours, 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. Let's bring in Peter Lobardius, and he will blush when I say this, but the highly popular Peter Lobardius, by the way, from the Calgary Flames radio crew. How you doing, Lou?
I'm doing okay, Roddy. How are you guys?
Good. Well, listen, I'm not going to put you on the hot plate here. I'm going to ask you one Flames question. I want to talk about the other teams in the NHL. Actually, maybe two Flames questions, and one is...
You can put me on the grill. You can put me on the toaster. You put me wherever you want.
I know. It's just hard to talk about when your team's losing. Trust me, I get it. But what is your deal? Are you traveling with the team? Are you home in Ontario, Calgary? What are you... How are you doing your job right now?
Well, the way it works for pretty much everyone outside of national TV people, not even regional, is no one, Roddy, is traveling. So the way it works is we are very, very fortunate and lucky to still be able to do our jobs for the home games inside the arena. But as far as doing games outside of Calgary, we do those games, in our case, from the boardroom at the radio station where, we are calling it off of a couple of TV feeds. So that's how it is working. As everybody knows, you guys know all too well, the world is very different, and we're all trying to do our best when things change. And everything in our world changed about a year ago, which is almost hard to believe, isn't it, fellas? When you think about, in some ways, I can't believe it's been a year. In other ways, I think for many of us, it can feel like it's been 10. And it applies, as far as I'm concerned, to everything. Everything has remnants of COVID and our world all over it, including hockey, including covering a hockey team, including the reaction of people watching their favorite hockey teams. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, guys. It's never been more different, and it speaks volumes to where things are in terms of the temperature.
For sure. But I mean, everybody in the NHL is a pro. So when I'm watching these games or listening, it's very hard to tell whether they're at the arena or not based on listening. But the odd guy will throw in, I can't see the ref's signal. And you can tell how angry they are that the screen didn't pick it up, right? But anyways, thanks for explaining all that. And to the actual hockey, Lou, Flames a 5-1 loss to Ottawa yesterday. Matthew Tkachuk seemed at a loss for words afterwards. Calgary's raging, from what I understand, as a city with the plight of their team. What's your take on where they're at?
Well, I could probably fill about 3 segments, Roddy, to be honest. It applies to some of the other things that I talked about. So, it's funny, and I need to use some levity today because, frankly, it's been hot. It's been hot to the point where in these kind of times, whether you do what I do, whether you're the players, the guy under the most heat right now is the coach. So it's always the coach, I find. Even though that you can have the same patterns from the same people, you can change your coach. It always seems to be on the coach. And without being disrespectful, because I'm lucky, I have a platform right now. Good old Remps and I, the Silver Fox, we were at a hockey game together in Saskatoon in the spring of 2011. And in my usual loud, typical, don't want anybody really to hear me, but half the building does, I almost wish I had this speech on the public address system. And what's a little troubling for me is how quickly we can turn. But that's the reality. But Rod, here's what I'm going to ask you, okay? I need your help. And Double D, hope you're doing well. I don't ever seem to get a question from you anymore when I come on the show. But
He's always busy.
I love you, Lou.
Okay.
He's doing business.
All right. That's fine. He's one of my faves, so I just like to check in. Nice,
I love you. You
nice
know that.
to see him and hear from him. All right. Guy apparently never met a barber he liked like lately, but that's good too. So anyway, my point is, Roddy, is this. These are very different times. And I don't think a lot of the players are necessarily handling the change and the newness. But what I want your help with is this. I just heard you coming into my segment say this. You expected the Calgary Flames to finish first in the West. Help me understand how you arrived there.
I expected them to finish first points total in Canada because watching them last year, all they were really missing was a goaltender, and they signed the number one available free agent goaltender in Jacob Markstrom. And with the reaction afterwards, if you remember, hallelujah, we got our first goalie since Kipper, away we go, Stanley Cup, here we come. That's without any knowledge really of what's going on the inside of the organization. Well, I got a pretty good idea, but on ice, it seemed like Markstrom was all they needed. That they're a very talented team, Lou. You know that.
Oh, hold it for a sec. And I'm not trying to be combative. I'm not.
No, it's good.
Where has this necessarily talented with elite people? So here's the bottom line, Rod. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to get to it as succinctly as I possibly can. Do you know where I think the whole fan base and everybody is kind of caught? Everybody keeps wanting this Calgary Flame team to be the team that they saw 2 years ago that finished first in the league in points. But what happened in the playoffs that year? They were beat by the Colorado Avalanche, the 8th seed, in 5 in a series where their best player was their goalie. So to me, it's been hard for people to separate what was really about a 4-month stretch where they got on an absolute roll. They dictated to other teams and had the best point percentage in hockey. The problem is, what has happened since then? Well, since then, even in that season, the group wasn't able to take that into the playoffs. Last season, they struggled. They were, do or die, if you will, to make the playoffs. They got in. They did beat Winnipeg, but Winnipeg lost its best player in the first 3 minutes of the series. And against Dallas, were they the better team in that series? Cam Talbot, I think, along with Michael Backlund and Bennett, Lucic, and Dylan Dubé, were probably the guys driving the bus in the playoff. So that, to me, is where this team is at. And then the other reason, guys, that everybody is so hot, and Roddy, you've been around sports your whole life. You've seen the best, like me. You've seen teams go through hard times, like me. Here's what's troubling, and here's what people are having a tough time. Look at the Flames recently. So Saturday afternoon, after a bad game in Ottawa, what did you do? You rallied. You looked like a really good team. And then the next game, last night, you're okay for one period. And then after that, something goes wrong and you don't handle the adversity. So you lose again to Ottawa. Earlier in this trip, you went to Toronto, you battled, you competed, you played your tail off, and you took 3 of 4 points from the team that I clearly feel, without question, is the best team in Canada. No question. Hands down. And they, to me, are at a level we have not seen for I don't even know how long with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, let me...
So, go ahead.
No, just...
So the problem people are having is I think it's easier in a sense sometimes when you go through a long losing skid and you get to a certain place. The problem with the Calgary Flames right now is for a couple of games, for a game here or there, they show you some of those things, Roddy, that off the top you said is why you thought they were going to get to a better place.
I need to jump in. And I feel like taking this to a Starbucks or to Buddy's Steak Ranch, and we can have a coffee, Pete, and go deeper into this. But if you really want to know, you had Calgary and Tampa Bay finishing atop their conferences, and they both did face plants in round one, as you know, that year that you're talking about. But who rallied and came back and won a Stanley Cup? And Calgary's got the talent to be the number one team in the NHL. I still think the talent is there. I do. And so they beat Winnipeg without breaking a sweat. And good on them in the play-in round last year. They had Dallas, I thought, with their foot on the Stars' throat, and inexplicably gave up 3 goals in 5 minutes in what game was it, 5? They had the Western Conference champions on the ropes in my mind. So I do think the talent is there. And it's like, come on, guys, let's show us something here. I think what I'm getting from you is that it was a mirage, their regular season showings the last couple of years. And I'm sorry, I don't buy it because I think they're better than what they've shown.
Do I think they're better than what they've shown? Yes. So do I. But let's stop right there, Rod. Okay? The Tampa Bay Lightning won 62 games. But who are the Tampa Bay Lightning? You know who the Tampa Bay Lightning are? The Tampa Bay Lightning are a team that found themselves in the Final Four 4 times in the last 6 years before they got to the place they did in the summer and won the Stanley Cup. Right there. That is the difference. That's the difference. To me, you become an elite team not when you finish first in the standings one time, but over a span of time, led by your core group, when I judge, and when I judge is not in the regular season, it is in the playoffs. So when you are a constant participator over a span of time, and you put yourself in sports in a position to knock on the door, at some point you're going to kick it in. That, to me, is the difference when you make that comparison. Are the Calgary Flames better than they're showing? Absolutely. But in the most difficult times, have their better players been able to dictate to their opponent in the playoffs?
Yeah, well, so a couple comments here, Lou, before we let you go. Scott Henbury from Great Westerns watching from the brewery in Saskatoon says, morning from Great Western. Great to see you guys. Lou, if Calgary makes a change this season, what do you think? What do they do next? Or is this season a write-off? And do they need to start thinking about next season? I think he's talking about trades, a coach firing. Oh, my God, I don't think we got time for that. Glenn in Florida says you have to know what it's like to get there and lose before you figure out how to get there and win. I get that one. I guess we only got a minute, Lou, and I wanted to talk Dub with you and stuff, but that's okay. This took up too much time. I guess the question is, what is next for the Flames? Great question from Scott at Great Western.
It is a great question. Here's the issue. This is a very difficult time to assess your team. It's hard to make trades. I think the best thing in many ways the Calgary Flames can do, and chances are someone here in the next little while, Roddy, will probably pay a price. But don't we find out about our group and people in the most difficult of times? So if all those things that we talked about, and they deserve an opportunity, like you, I'm frustrated. Everybody's frustrated around this team because we see glimpses of much better. And with the goaltender and Chris Kanev, you should be better. But right now, they're not. So that's why I keep turning back to these are the times in our world that test us. It's hard to assess. We can't do some of the things as a hockey team. Hey, you guys are perfect evidence. When it was hard, you guys found something new and you've worked at it and you've built it. This is a great time to assess. Is it fun as a fan? Nope. Is it fun as a broadcaster? Nope. Is it fun for the ownership and the GM? Nope.
No.
But if you really want to know what your group and your core group is all about, this is a pretty good test, don't you think?
For sure. And I apologize. They're screaming at me from Game Plus to go to a break. So, Lou, hey, the Pats are coming back. Let the good times roll. You're a gem.
Look at what I'm wearing right here.
I love it.
I see it. The dub. Dub strong. Thanks, Lou. Be well.
Sorry for being lengthy, guys. Take
You're
care.
good. You're always good with us. Captain Lou. And we'll be right back with a sports up. Did you not hear? We got a break.
I know, but
we'll be right back on Game Plus.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I just want to point something out with Lou. He said, I know you're frustrated. We're all frustrated. I'm not frustrated. I don't even like the Calgary Flames. I'm frustrated because I picked them to be number one. That's a them problem, not a me problem. But anyways, thanks to Lou for coming on. And by the way, a shout out to the Dub players who we have just found out are watching in the Hub bubble over at the University of Regina. See you soon, boys. Stay safe. Enjoy the pasta. All the Flames fans are alive, right?
Oh, yeah.
Jason and Red Deer. Man, I love Lubo. That's such a Calgary thing. We used to call him Lou out here. Mark Zosel says, great interview, hanging on every word. From Chris Robinson from Eastern Canada. Fantastic interview. Well, because Lou laid it on the line there. Colin in Ottawa, ouch. And to think you guys should have a banner from 04. It was in. They got robbed. But you need to move on. I spent hours on the phone with somebody last night. You need to move on. They're not going back and replaying Game 7, or Game 6 in that case, of Calgary-Tampa. How many times have you heard me say that around here?
Yeah, not happening. Yeah, you got to move on.
Do you want to sit in that stagnant swamp of pity and poor me? Or do you want to be in the river and go with the flow? How many times have I said it? Flow, you are a river. Woo-sa. Forget about 04. It's over. Sports update. Different backup goalies, same result. Michael Hutchinson made 31 saves, and the Maple Leafs shut out the host Edmonton Oilers in their second straight game last night, 3-0. The Vancouver Canucks scored 3 first-period goals, and Thatcher Demko made 27 saves in a 4-0 victory over the Winnipeg Jets at Bell MTS Place. The Ottawa Senators have wins in 4 of their last 5 games following a 5-1 victory over the slumping Calgary Flames at Canadian Tire Centre. Here's one for you and Clark. Nick Robertson had a goal and an assist. Alex Galchenyuk picked up a helper in his first game with the Marlies, and Toronto held on to beat the Manitoba Moose 4-2 in the AHL. Teemu Kivihelmi added a pair of... Say that again. Teemu Kivihelmi added a pair of goals, including an empty netter, and Adam Brooks also scored for the Marlies. Brooksy
right.
Bucks!
Let's go.
Brooksy Bucks! Galchenyuk, who was acquired from Toronto, or by Toronto from Carolina on February 15th, was making his Marlies debut. Jeff Mallett and Juna Luoto scored for the Moose. Toronto's Andrew D'Agostino made 19 saves for the win, while Mikhail Burden stopped 19 of 22 for the Moose. And earlier in the day, the Marlies named forward Richard Clune, the 9th captain in team history. Major League Baseball spring training. Pirates and Blue Jays tied at 2. They did it in 7 innings. Anthony Alford, claimed by Pittsburgh off waivers from Toronto last August, homered off Robbie Ray. That is not the same Hannah Montana's dad. Different Robbie Ray.
I was thinking Rob Ray, Buffalo Sabres. That's what I was thinking.
There's a lot of Robbie Rays out there.
There's a few.
This guy got touched in his spring training opener yesterday. And Rowdy Tellez doubled for the second straight day for the Toronto Blue Jays. But who the hell would know, because they don't broadcast Blue Jays games in Canada. And the Raptors game against Detroit that was scheduled for tonight is being postponed until Wednesday, a move that the NBA hopes gives Toronto time to get back onto the floor. The Raps were scheduled to play Chicago on Sunday, and that game was postponed indefinitely because of positive COVID-19 tests and contact tracing issues. Everybody wants to say that we're so close, we're getting to the end of this thing. I don't see any sign that we're getting to the end of this thing. I think people they're perennially optimistic. I appreciate that. But with news like this, what makes you think that we're close to getting back? We're not. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room, they can handle all your food and fun needs. Visit their website, ballersrecroom.com. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Listen, I'm just going to break here, get back on schedule time-wise, and come back with a viewer takeover next. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash, 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed. IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Haven't yelled at anybody yet today.
Kind of yelled at me.
No. Day ain't over yet. I had a parent of a player text me and say, SJ's done. Here's the text on the Prairie Mobile text line. SJ's done. My player's son just texted me. Here's how we do things around here. So I shot a text to the league. You were sitting right here. I won't say to whom. He goes, nope, not true. Still working on it. He goes, nothing's true till you hear it from me. So the SJ's not done yet. Saskatchewan Junior A. On Twitter, Todd in Winnipeg, regarding way back at the start with Bob Irving calling out TSN, the Hall of Fame voice of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, saying TSN spends too much time promoting the NFL, not enough on the CFL. Todd in Winnipeg on Twitter writes, CFL fans are in complete denial on the popularity level of the league and how much attention they deserve. They deserve exactly how much they get. In fact, if TSN wasn't their broadcast partner, I would expect it would be even way less.
Whoa.
And he's a big Bomber fan. Like he's not even being a hater.
Whoa.
Like we're CFL guys around here, but he might have just mic dropped it right there. Well, how much do you expect when can't even decide if you're getting on the field or not?
I know. It's really tough.
I had a guy say to me yesterday, the whole rider board's watching you guys. The whole rider board's watching you. I said, that might be the problem. Go figure out a way to get on the field and don't worry about us. That's the big problem. Worried about the wrong things. You want to do a Mandy in Edmonton. Yes, you yelled at Dupes and it was uncomfortable. Oh, because we had to go to a commercial break. Do you understand? You'd think he'd know. They don't get me. She doesn't get me yet. Thank God you do.
Oh, of course. Can I say what I was going to say?
Yeah.
I wanted to wish Scott Henbury a happy birthday from Great Western because he was watching the Lou interview. So happy birthday, Scott. Thanks for watching.
Oh, my God. Yeah, happy birthday, Scott.
Hope you have a nice cold one here.
Colin in Ottawa says, how can you tell that Rod has daughters? He made a Hannah Montana reference that no one that doesn't have a daughter understood. It's not just about that. They came home one day and I was watching Hannah Montana. They're like, we're not even home and you're watching Hannah Montana. That's so weird.
Get hooked on the storyline.
That's what they said. Listen, I speak girl. Meow. Curling report. All systems are go for the Canadian Men's Curling Championship, the Brier, after the women proved elite curling can happen in a pandemic. Curling Canada says no one tested positive for the COVID-19 virus during the Scotties, which concluded Sunday in Calgary. In an arena with no spectators, Carrie Anerson's team from Gimli, Manitoba claimed a second straight title. About 500 on-site tests were conducted during the Hearts with no positive tests, Nolan Thiessen of Curling Canada said Monday. The Hearts was the first of 4 Curling Canada events relocated to Calgary in a hub city model. The men start arriving today in Calgary for the Brier. It opens Friday at WinSports Markin McPhail Center. The 35-team field for the National Mixed Doubles, March 18th to the 25th, will be announced today. The Men's World Championship follows April 3rd to the 11th. A pair of Grand Slams, which are Rogers Sportsnet's properties, are also scheduled for Calgary in April. The women were confined to the arena and their hotel on either side of Trans-Canada Highway in Calgary's West End and drove themselves back and forth in rental cars. Could you imagine NHL players doing that? I want a driver. They bought into testing and self-isolation before and after arrival in Calgary, regular temperature checks, mandatory masks off the ice, and no socializing at the hotel with other teams with nary an eye roll or sigh, said Curling Canada's Nolan Thiessen. So there you go. There's your curling report. Not bad, eh?
It's pretty good.
See what we come up with for tomorrow. It's brought to you by Verge Agriculture, helping farmers plan and optimize their operations across every field. Try Verge's Precision Farm Tech software for free today at vergeag.com. What else you got over there, Dupes? Anything?
No, just taking it all in.
I could tell.
I'm just taking it.
Are you enjoying the show today?
I'm enjoying the show. I'm absorbing. It's good.
Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, I'm old enough to remember when it was called the Labatt's Brier. Well, it's not anymore. A lot of people getting into the CBC thing here. Robin in Prince Albert says, that's freaking hilarious. Just got a notification from Sportsnet about a game they're not going to broadcast. Jays versus Phillies. Yeah, first pitch at 12:07, but you can't watch it. That's just cruel what Sportsnet's doing. And we'll kick this around maybe a little more next hour, but like I say, why have the Blue Jays not said anything? You're more of a business guy than me. What do you think's going on behind the scenes on that? They've got to be furious.
Yeah. Again, you talk about the family relationships, right? I don't think they're like, is it worth it to make a big stink about this? We got a relationship with Rogers, but they can't be happy.
Jeff in Winnipeg, boy, am I late to the party. You got that right. But we'll talk about the Jets next hour. We've got Brad Kraft from the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Stick around through this break, everybody. See you on Game Plus or here on your favorite digital platform.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealer.
Tonight, I think that the Oilers will come out and beat Toronto because they have to.
How about that?
Johnny Toronto over here, because you're going to tell me that the Leafs are going to win, of course.
I just think Toronto's got more depth throughout the lineup than Edmonton does. And when Austin Matthews isn't playing well, you've got still a really good hockey team that steps up. If McDavid and Draisaitl aren't going for the Oilers, then they're just not going to be as productive and they're not going to win.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It certainly is. Good day, Canada. Good afternoon to those of you in the East. Good morning to those of you in the West, which is where we reside. Rod here and Darren there. And before we jump into the fun and frivolity and continue with the second half kickoff here, I think you all should know this. Darren is getting a brand made, and he wants to brand the staff here. He's gone far too far with Yellowstone. Can you put the camera on this guy, a two-shot? You don't think there's anything wrong with branding people?
I've checked with my HR people. They seem to be okay with it.
Oh, have you?
They haven't finished HR at the school yet, the program. They don't have the degree, but on the surface, it seems okay.
The first couple of days in HR school that wasn't covered. What happens if the boss wants to brand the employees? I don't see anything here.
It's not specifically in the book.
This manual was done in 2010. He wants to brand people. Have we seen Alan the intern around? Let's start with Alan the intern. And let's just see how that goes.
It'd be the test.
Well, that's what interns are for.
That's what I thought.
How much you want to work here, son? Why are you turning red?
Oh, it's great. Starting to think that this might not be as
exactly
smooth as I thought.
Well, I wanted to point that out to you. This is all being facetious, of course. Okay, the comments are coming in and they're great, so I'm just going to jump into where the regular business here. Last hour, Peter Lobardius was with us from the Calgary Flames radio crew. This hour, Brad Kraft, the CEO of the Saskatchewan Rattlers pro basketball team. The CEBL announced their schedule last week, and we're going to talk about that and everything CEBL. But let's go with the quick 6 show topics. Re-up, please, Director Jordan. And then we're going to jump into viewer takeover early because the comments are going great. Somebody just wrote in here. Jim Perry, Jimmy Two Tables in Calgary, is watching. He says, remember that WWF wrestler who branded his opponents? Was it not Ace Cowboy Bob Orton? Somebody tell me. I believe it was Ace Cowboy Bob Orton. Well, if he can do it, I guess you can.
Yeah.
So anyways, here's what went down in the NHL last night. You all know the scores by now, but the Maple Leafs blanked the Oilers. You heard the intro where I said the Oilers were going to win because they had to win, and they're supposed to be at this level with Toronto. They're not in Toronto's class. That was shown last night. Look, the Leafs have played 3 goalies, and they've won with all of them. The Oilers have played 3 goalies and can't win with any of them consistently. This Stalock guy, yeah, he's going to be the savior. My second leftover, brought to you by Tupperware, is, again, Toronto better win the Stanley Cup. You'd better win it because you're showing us that you're the best team in the NHL. You're getting all the plaudits. I've seen Craig Button say they're the best team in the NHL front to back, and I agree. So you better win the Stanley Cup because if you don't, it's going to be even more embarrassing than all your other past face plants. That's what I think. Rhetorically speaking out loud here, asking myself questions out loud. How could the Pagula family own the Buffalo Bills and get them turned around to host a playoff game, but completely botch the Sabres? I'm not looking for an answer. I'm just speaking out loud. Doesn't make sense.
I know.
The Vegas Golden Knights, my last 2 leftovers are them. Always working 60-plus minutes. And in overtime last night, they won. I was, again, on my 3rd dream by then. I was asleep by not late. So I didn't watch that game, but I saw the highlights today, and it's ho-hum. Vegas wins again. And Mark Stone had 5 primary assists last night for the Vegas Golden Knights. The NHL record is 7, held by Wayne. Those are the NHL leftovers. Point 2, Blue Jays tie the Pirates 2-2, and I'll say it again, it's decidedly un-American that they would have a tie in spring training baseball, and they did it in 7 innings. Did they get called because of rain? Was that it? You can't end a game in a tie, even if it's preseason. And we went on another lengthy rant as to why we can't watch the Blue Jays in spring training on television nor even listen to them on the radio. And you're going to tell me because it's COVID? How dumb do you think we are, Sportsnet? That's the one thing that really is, it's insulting our intelligence that you at Sportsnet would think that we would believe it's because of COVID when you've whacked all your staff and you've been cheaping out for years, the last 2, 3, 4 years, and now you're just... I had talking to a buddy today, former NHL guy, and he said, sort of a rhetorical comment from him, but he goes, don't let a good pandemic go to waste. Blame all your decades of terrible decisions on COVID. You'll get away with it. They're all dumping it on COVID, right?
The hole's big enough.
It's not just Sportsnet, by the way. They're just in today's crosshairs. But, I mean, Bell's made a lot of it's broadcast, but a lot of it is sports. I mean, who are the ones that are taking it in the pills so much right now? Sports and media. To say they weren't prepared for this is an understatement, but, how could you be prepared for this? But they're not really coming out of it great.
No.
Point 3, the Raptors get roned again. A second consecutive game postponed because of COVID stuff, I'm chuckled because I saw Josh Leuenberger on TSN Sports Center saying, should they make up their games this week before the All-Star break or not play them at all, play them later? And then I started to think what the answer would be the right answer. Then I'm like, why do I care? I don't care. I got enough to worry about. Is that fair?
Yeah. The question came up yesterday on social. Maybe it's a good poll question for another day this week is, with all the games being canceled and postponed, should there be an All-Star game? I mean, why are we having an All-Star game when we can't get regular games in? So that's another interesting kind of angle to it.
Jeff in the Zones watching on YouTube. He says, what's up, Rod and Darren? Sucks the Blue Jays games not televised today. Very disappointed. Enjoying the show, though. Well, I don't understand how or why they're doing those things, but I know how and why we do things, and we'll be here every day. We haven't even taken a day off, an unscheduled day off since 2019.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
What else do we have to do? So we'll be on the air every day on Game Plus. WHL cleared to play in BC. That's big news. That came down yesterday. 0.5 J.J. Watt to the Cardinals. We covered that last hour, and you can get a NFL coverage anywhere. And 0.6, Bob Irving, the legendary voice of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, calling out TSN for their lack of coverage of the CFL and going nuts on the J.J. Watt signing in Arizona and other NFL news. And, here's the thing, by the way. We've been saying the exact same thing as Bob for 433 shows. He's getting a lot of support.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of support, but there's also that guy Todd from Winnipeg, I guess it was last hour I read that, saying the CFL is getting exactly the amount of coverage they deserve. They haven't played in over a year. The prospects of playing don't look good. They're getting exactly what they deserve. And I kind of sat back and went, he might be onto something. Why would we be obligated? Why would TSN be obligated to talk about them right now? Yes, they're signing players, but do we not have a nagging voice in the back of our head going, they signed this guy, but we don't know if he's even going to play? Because as much as there was 2 news items in the CFL yesterday, and I actually have them right here. The Saskatchewan Roughriders assigned offensive lineman Brett Boyko. The 6'7", 305-pound Saskatoon product played 15 games for the BC Lions in 2019, which was his first in the CFL after stints with the Philadelphia Eagles, San Diego Chargers, and the San Diego Fleet. That's the one story. The other one is the BC Lions announced Monday that running backs coach Danny O'Brien has accepted a position on the staff of Penn State University. Said coach and GM Rick Campbell, we congratulate Danny on a big opportunity for a young coach working his way into the profession. We wish him well. One's coming, one's going. See what I'm saying with that?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when Todd stood up and said they're getting exactly the amount of coverage they deserve right now, I can't say that he's wrong. I just wonder where you stand on that.
Yeah, I can't either. I mean, it's tough.
Terry Funk used to brand this. Yeah, Terry. Sorry.
That's right.
Terry Funk.
That's right.
Why did I think Ace Cowboy Bob Orton? Thank you.
Terry Funk.
Terry Funk.
I watched.
Continue.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, it's just, let's just leave it at this. It's a mess. And we don't know which way it's going. But on the one hand, signing all the players, it's not costing you any money.
No, not at all.
Right? You don't pay them till they play. So let's do, guys, just business as usual, okay? Just please do this. If we're going to play, you have to do this anyway. Take care of business and make sure you're ready to go. I mean, you're not out anything if they don't play.
How dare you make sense?
I know. Sorry. But I hope they play.
Jeff Kabilis in Winnipeg says, love Bob Irving, but come on, man. That's what I'm saying is Bob got a lot of support, but he got a lot of people flipping it back on him, going, what should they talk about? And I get that too. Ivan, the Argos fan, writes in, he says, TSN wants CFL to die, all part of the grand scheme.
Ooh.
Tell us more.
Yeah, tell me more.
Please tell me what this conspiracy theory is. Jason in Red Deer says, hey, Dupes, I think DuPont Media needs to start a CFL network. Yeah, we would love to, but we need a CFL.
Yes. That would be step one. I was on a call yesterday with putting irons in the fire.
You can't get away from it, can you?
I know. And
how about putting lines in the water would be less offensive?
All right. Putting lines in the water.
You're always worried about what I say being offensive. You're offending me.
I know. So the question came back on the idea, what are the obstacles here? What are the barriers to entry? And thinking about the CFL network, that would be one. Well, the CFL needs to play.
No league.
That's the barrier to the CFL network. I just thought that was fun.
This is good.
Yeah.
Somebody texting me says, welcome to the Karen Pedersen Show. That's my dad's cousin. There is a Karen Pedersen. What am I being a Karen about? Because I'm offended by him branding people?
Can you blame? I don't blame you for not wanting to be branded.
I don't want to be branded, okay? I've had a chance several times. Bo Halverson. We're in the business of doing business. Who said it? Brewster's Millions.
There it is.
Montgomery Brewster. Ken in Saskatoon writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line at 306-840-8777. Great point, Rod. Organizations hamper themselves by not broadcasting events like the Green and White scrimmage, not to mention local blackouts of CFL in the past. The live experience is worth so much more to the fans and teams than watching on Facebook or TV. The broadcasts and streams are an hours-long advertisement to attract people to the stadiums. But see, we're kind of getting old school here into how we did shows 400 shows ago. Remember when I said I can't work in sports anymore because I'm just sitting in these meetings, these boardrooms, fighting with marketing people, beating my head against the wall like David Riddick, saying what you're just saying, and they're like, no, Rod, you don't understand. You don't understand. I don't even want to go down that road anymore because it's like, okay, I guess what I've been doing for 30 freaking years didn't work. And I don't know what I'm talking about. In the meantime, you can't fill the place, and you're losing money. But I don't know. I don't understand. Okay, I don't. That's all. Why am I getting upset? Well, I guess we went through the quick six show topics there. I want to mention that the rock star of the day yesterday was Paul Figler from dubnetwork.ca. Came on here yesterday. Figgy, we got Figgy with it.
Yep.
Rock star of the day. We will send him a hat. And Figgy looks like he's got a pretty big melon, so I think we need some more hats. We got a ton of kids' hats. Who ordered the kids' hats?
Maybe we need to move to the adjustable snapback.
We need snapback hats, exactly. From anonymous texter from the 231. Not only can Major League Baseball games end in ties, a manager can end an inning if the pitcher throws 20 pitches, no matter the situation. It happened in Boston yesterday. These are spring training games, is what you're telling me. Obviously, none of these things happen in the regular season because it's a man's sport.
20 pitches. We're done.
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
to switch.
We're all going for ice cream. Can we break? Okay. We will be right back. So this has been the second half kickoff, and we are in one. Brad Kraft from the Saskatchewan Rattlers joins us next. We've got a sports update coming up. More viewer takeover. You're watching the Rod Pedersen Show across North America on Game Plus TV network across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook. And 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club.
The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Oh yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. And I feel like we're really getting somewhere today. I'm not joking. We're accomplishing something. And a few things are going on. Wayne is watching in Victoria, BC. He says, you're getting upset, Rod, because sports organizations can't seem to get their acts together. The TSN, CFL, and media should be pulling in the same direction, but can't seem to realize how it affects fans. Well, in a second, we're going to bring a guy on from the CEBL who... that league is figuring it out. Big time. And Brad Kraft's going to talk about that. But Darren is, look, he's having a brand made. Okay? Am I divulging too many details here?
No.
So people are saying that I'm a Karen because I am an employee here and contractor in this whole thing, and I don't want to be branded. That makes me a Karen? So Jason in Red Deer writes in and says, hey, dupes, did you miss the day in business school when they talked about branding? Think you may have the wrong idea.
I said it's a branding company.
Exactly. So let's bring him in. Our good friend Crafty, known this fella a long time, CEO of the Saskatchewan Rattlers. How you doing, Mr. Kraft? Howdy.
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Are you enjoying this chat today?
I am loving it. You know, you're animated as ever, Roddy.
I know. Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to be branded. You sue me. I'd rather be sued than branded. But,
all right.
Brad, look, you know how big of Rattlers fans we are here. and CEBL fans overall. So before we look ahead to the season, you guys got a season in last year. You got it on national television. And I know that it's a smaller league. You're not paying the wages that some of these other leagues are. But just to look back at 2020, it was kind of a feather in the cap for the CEBL. Do you feel that way?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. We were able to get 26 games done in roughly 15 days from July and August in 2020 when in just, March, it was determined that the whole country was shutting down. So very, very proud, to be able to be a part of that and go down in Canadian sport history as, one of the people who was able to bring live sports to Canada during a pandemic.
And by the way, you guys had that deal with CBC and CBC Gem done before the pandemic, right? They were going to be televising a game a week. And then, of course, the pandemic hit. And then they did the games. They had tremendous numbers, by the way. What did being on CBC do, in your opinion, for the CEBL?
I think it really put a spotlight on us, and it springboarded us over a couple of years of business development, I think. We had millions, a million plus fans watching on CBC Live, national TV, hundreds of millions of people watching worldwide with our various live streams. CBC has been a great partner in that, they opened up all the geofencing for our games so that people in the States or wherever in the world were able to have, as little barrier as possible to watch games in 2020. And honestly, it just helped us grow. And, and now you hear the words like expansion and all these things. And we introduced our first employee in Montreal over the last kind of week. So I think that's all based on what we had been able to do in 2020.
Well, and I think that's why interviews like this are important. And if you were watching earlier, I said I want reps from every team on the air because you guys are going to play. But listen, I'm paying attention to what's going on. Annie LaRouche in Montreal, I've known for 20 years. Her husband, Dave Saplevy, covered the Alouettes for years, and he's a straight beauty. You got a good one there in her. And also,
great.
Yeah, exactly. And also, the Blackjacks have hired Leo Routen's kid, and they got Patrick Ewing's kid coming, right? And the Honey Badgers have hired Joel Anthony. So it's all going the right way, and that's incredibly exciting what the league is doing right in that regard. And your commissioner said, Mike Morreale, that you want to be the basketball version of the CFL. Is that still the model, or are you even aiming bigger than that?
I think for a really simple statement, yes, I think that's the goal. I mean, we want to have 12 teams, kind of coast to coast. We want to be the number one basketball in Canada, especially outside of the NBA. But, we're talking worldwide here, not necessarily just what CFL is looking at. So, we're already talking in the top 10 leagues in the world of basketball. So we want to continue growing that to be, right in the same conversations as NBA.
Totally exciting. And maybe Darren and I will talk about that a little later next segment because we're just geeked up for it. And I will just say this because we're going to talk about this 2021 season for you. And but when I go to Rattlers games, I'm standing there on the concourse or courtside going, whoa, this is NBA. This is like mini NBA, which is what you want. And you've accomplished it. It's exciting. And the Rattlers are near the top in attendance, of course. So anyways, for this season, you've shortened the schedule a little bit, right? You pushed the start date back a little bit. What can you tell us about this year's schedule?
Yeah, so normally we would launch in kind of mid-May. We pushed it 3 weeks to begin. The league opens up on June 5th. We open up at home against Edmonton Stingers on June 7th. We did that strategically so that we could give governments and health authorities and just the general public enough time, should vaccines be available, to become vaccinated and hopefully give our arenas as well as those government officials enough time to sort of work with us to determine the safety in terms of distancing and what an attended event could look like.
So do you, because I'm watching this vaccinations news every day, and I'm like, what do you know that we don't? I mean, are those 3 weeks you guys feel is going to make a huge difference in terms of getting people into the buildings?
Honestly, I don't know if those 3 weeks will, but to whatever extent we can have fans, if at all, this summer, then we will. And, we wanted to just make sure that we were at home as opposed to a single site tournament again this year so that we could have that option if it was available.
Outstanding. And what's your broadcast schedule this year, Brad, with CBC and CBC Gem?
Yeah, so every Saturday we'll have a sort of a game of the week presented on national TV through CBC, and then every other game as a whole will be streamed online, cbcsports.ca, the Gem app, etc. There. So lots of opportunities. Like I said, same as last year. There's little to no barrier for watching as long as you have internet. You're going to be in good shape. And then those broadcast games, we're on broadcast on live TV. I think it's August 10th against the Edmonton Stingers as well. So nice little kind of 2019 championship weekend rematch. So.
Well, that's exciting. That's very exciting. So Jamie is watching in Halifax, and he says, would the CEBL ever join with the NBL of Canada? And that's kind of what you were talking about earlier. You want to be the number 2 league to the NBA. I know that NBL is very popular in Eastern Canada. What's your association like with them, Brad, and prospects, I guess?
Yeah, the NBL sort of focuses on American talent a bit more than we do. We have a very strong Canadian content in terms that every team needs to have 7 of the 10 starters as Canadians. So that's really the main difference between us and the NBL. From a really, really basic standpoint. And we don't necessarily want to be, partnered with the NBL, but certainly looking at expansion in those markets. The NBL has been around for a long time. In fact, our league was, really born from an NBL team in the Niagara River Lions. So I guess I'm not to say I don't know everything in the future, but who knows what will happen, between the NBL and CEBL as we continue to grow.
Brad, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for Montreal. I'm excited for ourselves as Rattlers fans. Well, but I'm wondering how you're feeling about being a basketball guy, because I got to know you through lacrosse. So what's the transition been like for you?
You know what? It's been great. I mean, basketball is a fantastic sport. It's like the second most popular sport in the world. So, the more I've worked here, obviously my kids have gotten involved with it. I've coached them. I've taken every opportunity I can to learn the game, watch more, and just understand everything. And it's been wonderful. There's not a lot of There's a lot of similarities to lacrosse in terms of the set plays and the shot clocks and things like that. So once you're involved with sport and once you're a sport fan and you're no different, it's pretty easy to pick up new sports and learn about them in a hurry. So yeah, it's been great. I mean, the most rewarding thing for me is meeting all these players who really live around the world year round and come to Saskatoon or Saskatchewan in the summer and have these really wild stories of their backgrounds, their histories, where they're currently playing or where they have played, and you just meet these guys on different levels, and that's what I really find great about sport in general is just the storytelling.
And that's why I'm so happy that you guys are going to be on the court for a second consecutive year in the pandemic when other leagues are shut down, because their business models are just different. I mean, it's not nothing bad on them, but I'm just happy that you guys are able to play. And I'm sorry that I'm... Do you have any questions, Darren, by the way? I'm hogging this.
No, it's great. I love it.
Okay, you're just sitting back enjoying. Okay.
Well, and then there's, right, there's still going to be the All-Star game against the Canadian national team too, right, in the summer?
Yeah, we're still working on that for sure. So, it'll depend again on regulations from provinces, but we're planning to host that for sure and hopefully put on a good show where you can see, some CEBL talent mixed with some actual NBA talent and get a good primer for Tokyo.
Okay.
That's cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, cool. Somebody has written in and asked that Rattlers logo that's over your shoulder. I'm in love with it. I love the colors. I love the logo. We were just in Saskatoon, walked by your office a couple of weeks ago. It was a Saturday or we would have stopped in. Remember? Mm-hmm. Who did the logo, Brad? Do you remember?
Through CEBL head office. So our team of graphic designers designed every team's, and they put little nods of home kind of in each logo. So there's little hidden things in each one. Ours is, as you can see in the tail, looks like a wheat sheaf, Fraser Valley has a mountain range in the ears of their fox, and there's hidden ones throughout each team. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, cool. Very nice job. And you're afraid of snakes?
Deathly. Deathly afraid. So it's a good mascot to have, right?
Yeah, for sure. Scary.
Yeah, exactly.
Two last questions, Brad. I got one from producer Clark that I'll get to here, but from a business perspective, and again, you're speaking for all CEBL teams if you don't mind, or maybe you only want to speak for your own, but in terms of season tickets, because you had a lot when you were able to put people in the building, what are you doing business-wise this year with the uncertainty right now for tickets?
Yeah, so we actually came up with a pretty solid retention plan for season ticket holders. So basically, if you own a season ticket from 2020 or now 2021, they're automatically lumped into 2022. We don't want people to be scared of us going anywhere. We're looking at the future, so we want people to stay with us. So with that said, any fans who have tickets with us automatically have their tickets now in 2022. We're doing a bunch of reach out to all ticket holders. So if you haven't heard from us, stay tuned, you will. And basically, if we can have fans at any point this season, then we will. And all of those tickets that are now for next season, 2022, can be used, for this season. Other than that, we have no pricing changes for 2021. Our prices are frozen as is. There's some other benefits, like, for example, 25% discounts on merchandise for any team as a season ticket holder, or any ticket holder for that matter, during this kind of retention process.
Robert in Prince Albert writing, I'm not a big basketball fan, but the game I went to was fun. I really enjoyed it. I will definitely be back once allowed. That's the whole idea. And I was never an NBA fan growing up until I saw an NBA exhibition game at SAS Place in the early 90s. I'm like, oh man, I'm hooked. This is different live. And then you have a totally different appreciation for it on TV. That's kind of how I got into racing last summer. And Brad Clark wants to know, how many returning players from the Rattlers do you have this year?
We'll have some for sure, Clark. We'll definitely have some familiar faces. We're going to have some new ones. I mean, after a 1-5 season in 2020, there's probably going to be some turnover, but there'll definitely be the fan favorites back, and we're going to just take charge and try and win a championship here again.
Love it. Well, good luck on that, Chase. Always good chatting with you, Brad. I appreciate the time today, and keep us in the loop, my friend. Thanks. And stay safe.
Absolutely. You bet. You too.
You go. Look at that. Brad Kraft of the Saskatchewan Rattlers joining us from their office in downtown Saskatoon. We're eligible for a break, are we not, guys? We'll take a time out here and jump right into viewer takeover when we come back, plus a sports update. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. taste without compromise.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. What do you mean, quick one? Isn't this like 10 minutes long, this segment? That's what I thought. Hey, the Jets fans are alive. You guys all slept in? They're talking about tonight's game, Vancouver at Winnipeg. Jets shut out at home last night. I got a few things before I get to the sports update here. Trevor Bazzillo says, it's been a few periods without a 5-on-5 goal for my Jets. All this firepower? I don't get it. They ran into a hot goalie last night. End of story. It happens. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. You're from Winnipeg. You know hockey. James and Borden, Manitoba. You know hockey. He says, Brossoit in net tonight. He always plays great against his hometown. So far this season, we have answered every loss with a win. He was the guy that was upset that they only beat Montreal in overtime. What a bunch of Rudy poos the other night. Remember what I said? Who are you to criticize your team? Maybe he was on to something.
After a win.
Maybe he was on to something. Habs for Life, viewer on YouTube, said he was lost in the interview with Brad Kraft of the Rattlers. He says, no disrespect, still love the show. It's my morning coffee show here on the West Coast. So he's not into the CEBL. He's a fan of ours, so I'm not going to scold him. But look at what Craig at the Hockey Hall of Fame in downtown Toronto says. Your coverage of the CEBL is another reason to listen or watch the RP show. I can't recall coverage of the league in the GTA, except for the former TSN 1150 Hamilton, which they have now gone the way of the dodo bird. So this kid in Vancouver, he's a Lions fan. He was lost during the Rattlers. Well, they have a team in Fraser Valley, BC, called the Bandits. You might want to get on board. I'm not going to sit here and bang on these other leagues or teams or networks, but hey, these guys are doing the work to play. Like I said to Darren, the CEBL can play because why? They've got smaller staffs, smaller rosters, smaller salaries, what? And your answer was, like, why, as opposed to these other leagues that can't play, and you answered what?
They put a plan together that the health officials and the government's approved. Simple. Whatever that that plan was, and it's not the same for everybody. There's not one blueprint, and you can't just say, well, they're playing, so we should play. No, what's your plan to play? How are you going to test? How are you going to travel? How are you going to transport? How are you going to keep people safe? They did it. They put a plan together.
So we're going to give coverage to the leagues that are playing. Everybody wants to look ahead, and that's great. Kyle Hall's watching from Long Island. He says the Rangers have a must-win game tonight against the lowly Sabres. Oh, the Rangers blow out Boston Friday night, and now they're looking down on teams. But I just looked up the Mass Mutual East Division. You're 2 points ahead of the Sabres, brah.
That's it.
Anyways, I'm going to get to Sports on Tap a little later in the show. We still have plenty of time left in this show. I'm going to do a sports update right here. The Western Hockey League announced Monday that Edmonton Oil Kings forward Dylan Guenther has been named the Player of the Week. After opening weekend of the regular season, Guenther leads the WHL in scoring with 8 points. A second-year forward, a former number 1 overall Bantam draft pick. The Edmonton product is a highly touted prospect for the 2021 NHL Draft. Meanwhile, Edmonton Oil Kings goalie Sebastian Cossa has been named WHL Goalie of the Week. How about this? 1.50 GAA, 935 save percentage. He stopped 43 of 46 shots. Marc-Andre Fleury's numbers are even better. It's insane what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Jays hosting the Philadelphia Phillies today in Grapefruit League play at their park in Dunedin, Florida. TD Park underwent major renovations ahead of Toronto's 45th year of spring training at the facility. Jays will be opening their regular season there with COVID-19 restrictions keeping them out of Toronto to start the 2021 MLB season. Here's peak 2021, Darren. It used to be, if you can't make it out to the ballpark, we'll have the broadcast. Now it's, if you can't get the broadcast, come on out to the ballpark.
I know.
Welcome to 2021.
Completely flipped.
If you want to see how the Blue Jays are doing, buy a damn ticket because we're too cheap to broadcast it in Canada.
And by the way, you can't buy a ticket or come to the stadium because you live in Canada.
Yeah, so don't live in Canada. What a time to be alive. Which I wanted to get into this a little earlier on. There has to be a reason why the Blue Jays aren't broadcasting this over Facebook. Maybe it's contractual obligations. You guys at Game Plus, the TV guys, you guys are in downtown Toronto. Why don't you tell me why Sportsnet can't flip an iPhone backwards like the Regina Red Sox do and broadcast it that? We'd watch. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And have Buck Martinez there with a microphone plugged into his iPhone. And we would watch. Is it because you think it will look too Bush League? And we're Major League Baseball, so we can't have that? Which I don't agree with, but I would see why you would say that. What do you think?
Here's a great way to do professional and cheap. Do a radio broadcast. Stream it. Like you can, these mics, you have all of the gear, and you could make it sound like $1 million and stream the radio broadcast. Why not?
There's got to be, I got to think there's a reason they're not. I'm saying, can somebody tell me why the Blue Jays haven't taken it upon themselves to somehow stream this? Like, we're broadcasting 24-hour sports talk 24/7 at rodpedersen.com/listen live. Like, I'm not saying it's easy. We have the best tech people in the world. I've said it a million times. Back here, Ryan, Jordan, and the crew. You too, Clark. How can the Blue Jays not figure this out? Do they not want to? James in Borden, Manitoba says it. It would be better than no game. It's so archaic that we can't listen to the Blue Jays. Chris Bird in Toronto says radio. The big boys are cutting radio play-by-play all over the place. Well, the point is we can't be the people to stand up and pick it up in front of Sportsnet or TSN. Like, I could legitimately see when the CFL comes back. Well, let's not talk about teams that still have a radio crew. Let's talk about teams that don't. The BC Lions, their radio station went belly up. Hamilton Tiger Cats, belly up. Montreal Alouettes, let go their play-by-play guy, Rick Moffat. He was doing it longer than I was. And for whatever reason, that went under the radar. That's 3 teams that don't have a play-by-play guy right now. And they're all on, we're on Bell TSN stations. Montreal still has their radio deal on 690. Would you be stunned if they carried TSN audio? The Argos have been doing it forever, and nobody said a word about it because it's the Argos. Could you see TSN doing that? I could.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This can't be stopped.
I know. Cheaper, easier, and if your viewership and your revenues don't take a big hit, then it's going to make sense from a business standpoint. But I don't know if it's a great long-term solution.
I'm tired of hearing about business standpoint. I'm tired of hearing about it.
But eventually,
not from you, from everyone.
But eventually that catches up. You make short-term money solutions, right, which look good and make sense from a business standpoint in the short term, but they usually never play out in the long term. You keep cutting and cutting until you're dead.
We have our first person that's volunteered to be branded with the DuPont Media brand. Todd Pinkney.
Of course.
I'm not joking. He's willing to be branded. Like, if we're going to do it, we might as well do it on the air.
Yes. And if it's a volunteer thing, you'll sign the waiver and I am not liable.
Of course he's signing a waiver. Are you kidding me? He got the idea from the show Yellowstone. He wants to brand the employees around here, or as it turns out, viewers that are willing. Ryan McCarthy is watching in Albany, New York. And he says the New Jersey Devils are wearing their reverse retros tonight for the first time. There it is. Thank you, Ryan, for watching and participating. Listen, if you are near a television tonight, put it on. I'm talking about NHL Center Ice. If you have go watch those Devils jerseys. They are slick hot. I think I had them in my top 3 of jerseys. The LA Kings won. I think the Devils third. Can't remember who was 2. They're green. They're green.
This is Kevin, like Deneen time,
Forest
right? green
with red and white trim. The Devils really nailed those reverse retros. There's a reason to watch the game tonight. Who's the guy here? Oh, Chris Robinson says Mike Hogan is still the radio guy for the Argos. No. For home games, yes. But not on the road, he's not. We're going to break in. Monty says he won't be branded. You'll get over it, Monty. We're going to have fun on Viewer Takeover, I can tell, next. What a day it's been. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports talk. For Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed. IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. to see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Viewer Takeover. We're going right up to the top of the hour with it. We got a lot of content to get to, a lot to talk about here, and the people are going off in the comments section on that. So we do Sports on Tap every day for the Tap Brew House and drive-through liquor store. So here's what we got on the NHL tonight. 8 games. Islanders at New Jersey, as we mentioned. The Devils will be wearing their reverse retros. There's a reason to watch right there. Ottawa at Montreal, Philadelphia at Pittsburgh, Buffalo at the New York Rangers, Detroit at Columbus. Jackets have lost 5 in a row. Vancouver at Winnipeg, Carolina at Nashville, Tampa at Dallas. We mentioned in the majors, the Blue Jays are playing the Phillies right now. They began at 12:07 Central. Clark has video of George Springer's first hit, the prize free agent signing. There it is. Darren, look up. There's George Springer, everybody. Doesn't he look good in blue?
That's great.
He reaches base safely, everybody.
The only live coverage of the Jays.
Right here on Game Plus. Are we allowed to do that?
I don't know.
He looks thicker. He looked skinny in Houston.
I don't know. Looks like a winner.
It looks like he's a winner all the way. And in the NBA, the Detroit at Toronto game's postponed tonight because the Raptors got Rona'd. Where is my... We got too many sponsors.
Too much going on.
The Tap Brewhouse and Liquor Store is now open for dine-in or pickup. The liquor store drive-thru is open. Plus, you may also shop inside. Please follow social distancing guidelines and help everyone stay safe. Crosby's not playing. Pinckney has just pointed out. I saw this on the Game Plus Network Instagram feed. Nice work, guys. Crosby out because of COVID protocols tonight. So I'm just going to go down with the comments here. That young BC Lions fan, Habs for life, is what he goes by on. Lives in Vancouver, Habs fan for life. He says, where will I listen to my BC Lions? He goes, clearly it was TSN 1040 here. Sad. Sportsnet Radio won't do the CFL Lions? They won't. I was on the phone, well, you have been too, with Vancouver broadcast people, and the Lions will be on the radio from what I've been led to believe. But it won't be Sportsnet 650. For you people in BC. They're talking back there. They're not listening. Thank you. They'll be on the radio. I'm not going to say which stations, but you know the stations. But Sportsnet said, we're not touching the Lions. Not interested. So the CFL, with the quagmire that they're in right now, a lot of it has to do with their own bad decisions over the years. I don't care. And people continue to say to me, oh, Rod, TSN bailed out the CFL because they wrote a check to cover the payroll, so stop it. There wouldn't be a CFL without TSN. That short-sightedness is what they're paying for right now because the country doesn't care about them. Sportsnet's completely ignored them because they jumped into bed exclusively with TSN. And I'm not interested in a debate because it's exactly what's happened. It's another bad decision that the CFL's made. But anyways, Ivan, that Argos fan, says two interesting things. He says, allow CBC to show CFL games. They can't because TSN has a contract. So they can't. Just allow it. Wave a wand. That's what contracts are for. Ivan goes on to say, all part of the TSN conspiracy to kill the CFL. Ivan, go have a nap. You don't try to kill your contractual partners. That only happens on Dateline. Chris Fox says, if you like jerseys, let us know where we can send a Team Canada jersey from the World Junior Lacrosse Championship, courtesy of the Canadian Lacrosse League. Can I speak for everyone in saying, we don't need any more jerseys here. We're running out of room. Oh, Clark wants one. Okay.
There's always room at the
DM us. But those jerseys I bought up there, the Pats and the Warriors, she would get a camera on those.
They're hot.
I'd put a Canada jersey up there. Sure, bring it in. Thanks, Chris. Darren DuPont, this is the day that it came to the fore that Darren is wanting to brand employees here. And now viewers have lined up and offered to be branded with the DuPont Media brand. So Jamie in Halifax says, branded? My coffee mug has Rod's face on it. What else do you want from me? And I watch almost every day. I think it's very important to make the distinction here that people are volunteering to be branded. You're not making anybody do anything they don't want to do.
That is correct. You can always leave. You have the choice.
But you'll have a brand on you.
But once you make the choice to be branded, now you're forever here, right? Isn't that what they do on the show? I can't remember.
Our director of scouting is watching Craig Smith. He says Lions will probably go back to CKNW, had the rights before. Have you been reading my diary, Craig? What up? Chris Bird in Toronto. Interestingly, Argos games have been on different radio stations over the years. TSN 1050 and CFRB 1010. I even heard one game on CHML 900 from the Hammer. What did we learn today? What did we cover today?
Oh, we're getting excited about the CEBL. That's for one. We got a lot off our chest on the Calgary Flames, which was seems like 10 hours ago.
Yeah, why is that?
That's how the show goes. And we learned what was a novelty of branding people actually are into. So that's cool, too.
Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? Okay, tomorrow, among our guests, Alan May. Mayday! Washington Capitals analyst, longtime NHLer, former Esteban Bruin. Alan May will be with us. And more surprise guests thanks to Lou today. Brad Kraft, you, of course, our entire crew. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central or noon Eastern right here on Game Plus. I got balls.